Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be back. I hope you are all doing well. It's good to have you on my channel. Thank you all my returning subscribers. If it's your first time of seeing my face, my name is Janet, and here on this channel I share with you different relocation opportunities, be it through the study or the work route. So if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the post notifications as well whenever I video. Someone that is interested in moving to Finland, yes, so you to move to Finland. So as you know, almost every country have shortage occupations. All right, so they are facing different shortages of skilled employees. So Finland is also one of those countries. All right, currently they are facing shortage of skilled employees in many professions and sectors, and it has imposed Finland to open its doors to many non-EU nationals. All right, so they are looking for highly and qualified and skilled individuals who can apply to become workers in Finland through a blue card. So we're talking about the blue card permanent residence pathway. EU blue card is being issued. Do you understand that? All right, so this blue card is issued by Finland, and it allows you to work only in Finland. I hope that is clear. So let's look at the requirement briefly. So before you submit your application for the EU blue card to Finland, make sure you meet this following. All right, you must have a signed employment contract or a job offer, all right, from an employer in Finland. It's very important. Don't worry, I will list for you the current shortage occupations in Finland. So if you are among that list, please go online and apply for jobs in Finland. Also, I'll be coming here to give you different sites you can go to find employers who are ready to sponsor your visa to Finland. I will show you a step-by-step guide. I'll give you that guide on how you can apply for these jobs in Finland. But this is just to first bring this information to you, and then prepare yourself to start applying and get an offer, because these particular occupations are in demand currently in Finland. They need people to come in because they can't find people to fill those positions in Finland. That's why they need you to come into Finland to work. So they are required. So if you find your occupation there, then you should do something about it. All right, so like I said, you have to have a job offer. That offer must be at least the minimum of that offer should be a year. It should not be below 1 year. That offer letter you will be signing, or your contract, should be at least a year duration. All right, also the task you will perform requires special professional qualification or expertise. Make sure that your duties are it has to do, it involves a special professional qualification. All right, because you're not just looking for anybody. I told you there are particular occupations that are in demand. All right, then make sure that your gross income must be more than the average salary set by Finland. All right, okay, so don't worry, I will tell you that what that gross is. Let's just finish listing all the requirements. Also, you must have a higher education degree recognized in Finland. All right, which means if you are outside Finland, make sure you evaluate your results, your academic qualification. I used to say it. You can use WES, World Education Services, to evaluate your credential, to show that yes, your qualification is recognized everywhere. All right, so make sure that your qualification is recognized. All right, you must not pose a danger to the public health, public order, or security of Finland. Don't have criminal records. There are different things. Your health, don't have a very major health challenge. There are different things you will see. Don't worry, I will share the link to the Finland site where you can read this, the requirements and the rest and what is required of you. All right, you do not pose a danger to the international relations. Okay, you also have not been prohibited from entering Finland. It's important. All right, don't be somebody that's already been banned to enter Finland unless you just be shooting yourself in the leg. You won't get this blue card. All right, so the annual or monthly salary stated in your employment contract, or your job offer must be equal to or higher than the minimum salary set by Finland, and that minimum, set by the Finland government as at 2019, was about 57,774 or so. So that's the amount that was set. And then looking at recently in 2022, at least the gross, the gross is about 5,069. All right, it's about 5,069 per month, gross per month. Make sure that your gross salary falls within that 5,069 per month gross pay. All right, so at least in a year should be like 60,000 plus. I hope you get that. So let's look at the professions that are in demand right now. So if you hear your profession there, then please do something about getting a job so you can move to Finland with the blue card, which gives you a permanent stay in Finland. All right, so if you're a data scientist, you are part of this. Data scientist, data analyst, nursing associate professional, healthcare assistant, social care and counseling professional, generalist medical practitioner, specialist medical practitioner, engineer, which involves blockchain, cybersecurity, and DevOps, early childhood educator, audiologist and speech therapist, dentist, psychologist, special needs teacher, home-based personal care worker, project manager, product manager, nursing professional, welder and flame cutter, contact center salesperson, and so on and so forth. So those are the major ones, So if you find that your occupation has been mentioned right now, please do something about getting a job offer that falls, within the salary threshold, and then I guarantee you will be eligible for the Finland blue card. All right. Also, you can bring your family with that blue card. All right, it allows you to take your family members with you. Your spouse, your children under the age of 18 can accompany you. All right, and they have the same rights as you have in Finland. All right, so they can accompany you to other EU countries, even beside Finland too. If the country grant them residence permits, they can move with you anywhere. You have the same right as a permanent resident in Finland. All right. So the blue card is issued for a duration of 2 years. All right, for the validity period, it can the validity period can change. Okay, depending on the employment contract that you have. Some will have 5 years contract, some 1 year contract, some 2 years. So that blue card will depend on your job offer, the employment contract you signed. All right. So now, how do you apply for this blue card? So The application process for this card may vary depending on whether you apply from your home country or when you are already in Finland. So don't worry, I will take you to the Finland site where you can see for yourself what is required of you, either you are outside or inside Finland. All right, the application procedure for obtaining this card from abroad. Now, if you are abroad and you are watching me, it includes check to see that you meet the requirement for obtaining this card. Remember, I told you a job offer is number one. We read it. Remember, we read it just now. You can rewind this video and watch again. Then visit. Once you are sure you meet the requirement, you have to visit the nearest Finnish diplomatic mission or an embassy, the Finnish embassy or consulate in your country. Are you understanding me? You visit them, the Finnish embassy in your country, all right? And set up an appointment. You have to visit, go there yourself and set up an appointment, all right? Then you gather all your required documents. Once they give you an appointment date, gather every document, your offer letter, your, everything you need, for this job. Gather them, start gathering them, then fill your application for the EU blue card. You have to fill an application for it. They will guide you. Once you go to the embassy, they will guide you on how to complete that application. Then afterwards, you pay your fee, your application fee. Then you wait for the decision. That's straightforward. All right? Straightforward. For those that are already in Finland, you have to make sure that you also meet the requirements. Then you book an appointment at the immigration service, Finland immigration service. You also gather the documents you need. You fill out the application form, the blue card EU blue card application form. Then you wait for a decision. It's just like that. It's straightforward. So let's just talk briefly about the document that you need for the EU blue card, that is currently available in Finland. You need your passport. Make sure that your passport is with at least 6 months, of validity. At least 6 months. It can be years, some do 10 years, 5 years, Just make sure it's still valid, because remember, at least you can get like 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, on your passport. So if you don't have enough, maybe your passport is expiring soon, then you will not be able to get that particular card, the EU blue card, which is a permanent residence visa. So make sure that you have your passport still very much valid. Then your application form, don't forget that you have to complete the application form fully completed with all the requirements attached to it. Your passport, then you also need a passport size photograph. All right, a passport size photograph. You know how they take passports now, so so you need a passport size photograph, which has to be stapled with the application form. I hope you understand that. All right, so also you have to make copies of your passport pages. Make copies of your passport pages, and then proof of your education too. You have to attach it. So are you understanding? I mean, if you have a diploma, you have a degree, you have certificates, attach it to it. Then document that will show that you are legally staying in Finland. If you are currently in Finland, you have to attach it to it to show that you are a legal immigrant. A legal immigrant. If you are in Finland already, you have to attach it. So also for you that you are in Finland already, you also need something like application form MP1. I think so, yes, for you that you are already in Finland. So if you want to get a residence permit through this pathway, we already talked about what you need. Gather all those documents, make sure you fill the application form. If you see that your occupation is needed and you qualify, your passport, valid passport, passport photograph, copies of your passport pages, make photocopies, and also attach to your documents, your education, proof of education. Make sure you've evaluated it to be sure it's needed. It's valid in Finland. All right. Also, your documents showing that you are a legal immigrant to Finland if you're already in Finland. So those are some of the things you need to be aware of when you are trying to get into Finland using the EU blue card. So now I'm going to share with you the site. Let's just go briefly to the site. I'll share my screen with you now. Just give me a moment. Let's go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry for these blackouts. I'm sorry for these blackouts. Let me check what is going on. Let me check. I think my screen should be up by now. Can you see? Yes, I think my screen is now up. My screen is now up. So this is the site. This link will be in the description box. Don't worry. This is a site, the Finland Immigration Service site. All right, where you can read about this information. So let's just see. I told you it's a resident permit. It's a resident permit. So application for persons applying for an EU card. These are, I talked about most of it already. All right, but we can still go through it briefly. Don't, like I said, this link is in the description box. Just click on it and read through. All right, so apply for residence permit with this application if you want to apply for the EU blue card. So this is the section. You must apply for this card if you are coming to Finland for highly qualified employment. Your salary is at least 3,638. Oh, this is even now low. I think it's dropped now. We saw 5,000 before. I told you about 5,000 before. So it says at least let your salary be 3,000 plus. All right, you have the required higher professional qualification attested by evidence of higher education qualifications. I told you that. Make sure your higher education qualification has been assessed to be sure that it's recognized in Finland. All right, usually you have at least 3 years to higher professional skills if you have at least 5 years of professional experience. Let's read this again so that you can see. Usually you have higher professional skills if you have at least 5 years of professional experience. So if you have been working for up to 5 years, you already have higher professional skills now. And I've mentioned all the needed or the shortages occupation already in Finland. If you found your own there, make sure that you apply. If you already have 5 years experience, you are qualified to apply for these jobs and get this permanent residence. All right, you must have confirmed employment before you apply for the permit. I told you need a job offer. All right, the job must at least be 6 months. They've even reduced this thing on the Finland site. I told you at least 1 year because of my previous knowledge. Now it's now 6 months. At least your work, on your contract, on your employment contract, should be stated at least you've been given an offer for at least 6 months. This has been really reduced to help people to immigrate to Finland. First it was the salary, which was 5,000 plus before. Now it's 3,000. Now here it's saying at least 6 months contract of employment, which is so exciting. All right, so it can be an EU blue card can be issued for a maximum of 2 years. If your work lasts for less than 2 years, the EU blue card will be issued for the duration of the employment relationship and 3 additional months thereafter. All right, you can apply for this residence permit via the fast track service and get the permit in 2 weeks. So if you get a job offer now and you apply, if you use the fast track, you can get your visa in 2 weeks, your residence permit in 2 weeks. All right, this is what you should do. Please, this link is in the description box. Read through it, make sure you meet the requirement. This plus sign, you can click it, it will drop down, you will see it. Can you see? You have found employment. That's number 1. Your employment relationship lasts for at least 6 months. That's number 2. Your work consists of expert tasks that require special expertise. I told you I've read the occupation already. You have the required higher professional qualification attested by evidence of higher education or higher professional skills. As I told you, if you have 5 years work experience, you are already qualified. All right. Then your gross salary is at least 3,000 per month. So if you have read all of these things, and you are qualified, all you need to do is, number one, start looking for employment fast and as fast as possible, so you can be able to put in your application. All right, take your time to read through. Once you are ready, once you have your offer letter, how you fill your application, you can read through this. This is where you click. This link is clickable. You can fill the application online here. Okay, the fee for an online application is lower than for a paper application. All right, if you apply for your first residence permit in Enter Finland, this is the link to Enter Finland. If it's your first time of submit your application for that particular pathway, you might not need to visit a service point when you apply for an extended permit. All right, so after your permit has expired, based on your contract, you don't need to go physically to go and say, please, I want to extend my residence because I finished my employment with this employer, but I still want to stay in Finland. You don't need to go. That's what this is saying. Take your time to read through it and click here. This link is clickable. Might not need to visit a service point. Click here and read it. All right, so if you cannot use this, fill the paper application and pay. So that's all. You can see all these links are clickable. Just take your time to read. All right, this is how you pay. You have pay for your application once you are ready. This is the processing fee is here. You can pay with a credit card, or you can visit the Finnish embassy and pay. Then if you apply with a paper application, this is where you will pay. This is this is the processing fee. So let's compare the online fee with the paper application fee. Just allow my laptop to load. Still verifying. Let's just wait a few seconds. All right, it's going to go. It's coming in now. All right, so here we are. So the processing of an application fee is we start processing your application until you have paid the fee. I'm looking for where the amount is. All right, these are the payment method: through the e-service, through a service point, through a Finnish mission. All right, let's look for. All right, this is it. This is it. This is for citizenship application. For paper application is 690. For electronic application is 490 euro. Can you see that? Yes, they were right when they said electronic application is cheaper than paper. So application for release, there are different ones here. Can you see? So let's look for where it says residence permits. Yes, I was looking for this. For residence permits of an EU citizen. Oh, this is for EU citizen, right? No, it's the same. First, can you see here? First residence permit, no labor market tested. Can you see the e-blue card here? Can you see it on my screen? Can you see it? So this is where your section is too. This is how much you are paying. All right, either you are applying for any of this visa, specialist EU blue card, the one I told you about that we're talking about currently. For paper, this is how much you are paying. For online, you are paying 380. That's it. That's how much you need to pay. Let's just go back. We've seen that already. That's all. I think I need to show you from here. Let's go a little bit back. Let's go a little bit back. Okay, this is where we are. This is where we are. So you can take your time to read through this. All right. Right to work. You have a right to work in employment that requires high level. We've already talked about all of these things. So fill in the application form, pay your fee. Your employer must supplement your application with your offer letter, with your contract. It must have been stamped and signed, saying they confirm they have given you the employment. I hope that is clear. You can still click on this plus button and read under it. Then visit, the embassy to prove your identity. That's what they call biometrics or something, when you have to go for an interview, or and all of that things. Then you wait for a decision to be made, and then you'll be contacted once a decision has been made. All right, so that's all I have for you today. So watch out for my next video, all right, because next video I'll be sharing with you sites that you can go to and apply for jobs, all right, that can take you to Finland. So if you don't want to miss out, like I said, please subscribe to my channel. Do well to share my video if you find them very useful. I take my time to make research, to be sure I'm bringing the right thing to you. All you can do is support me by subscribing, liking my videos, and as you do so, may God bless you. So that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow I'll be bringing another exciting opportunity to you. Don't miss out, and I will see you. Have a lovely day, and bye.